Hi guys, how you doing? It is Victoria Player here of victoriaplayer.com, helping coaches and consultants to confidently step into their spotlight and create a unique, rewarding and thriving business doing what they love. And I have something very juicy to share with you today, and it comes off the back of what's been going on here at home for me. Obviously, it is the school holidays here. I've got my son off school, and I was sitting at my desk an hour or so ago, and just getting my head down to answering a couple of emails, and I was watching him play. And it's funny because, of course, nowadays for children, there are so many games and apps and things that they can be playing. And I really do try to limit the time that my son is exposed to such things. And so I had a few insights that I wanted to share that really, basically it's 4 lessons that I have learned from my 7-year-old son that will help you impact your business. And so there he was playing on these games, and he'd been on it for a short time, and I'm really trying to limit the amount the amount of screen time. Hi Cindy, how you doing? And I always try and encourage him to use his imagination and not get trapped into using phones and tablets and video games, but to actually play as children should do. Hi Cindy, thanks for the thumbs, the likes. And so there I was sitting at my desk doing a bit of work, and he had tipped out a box of Lego onto the floor and was there, really busy with himself, putting pieces together and making stuff and building stuff. And I sat and watched him. And not only was he building things, but I could see he was playing out a story that he was clearly creating in his mind, and he was getting so involved in his play. And I saw him pretending to be a monster and putting pieces of Lego in his mouth and pretending to spew them out. And he was so engrossed. He was just in the moment. He was being that monster. And as I watched him and the intent he was playing with and how he was so in the moment and he was being the monster, it really made me realize how actually much of what children do, and of course we were children once too, how what they do can be the most amazingly powerful lesson for our businesses. So what I first realized is that, there he was in one moment playing on the video games. I got him to sit down and play with his Lego. He started to play his own game. So this is step 1, that in our businesses, we really need to play our own game. And what I mean by that is it's so easy to be looking out across social media, looking at what our competitors are doing, looking at what other people in our industry are doing, looking at how other people are marketing their business, and we're always looking outside of ourselves and then comparing ourselves to others and wondering why we shrink. And so the lesson is that when we step into playing our own game, where we decide how it goes, where we decide how we're going to put the word out, where we decide how we're going to show up and what form our business and all of our activities takes, when we are like that, it actually makes life so much easier. Things start to flow because it's coming from within us. We're not second guessing ourselves because we're constantly comparing ourselves to others. The other lesson, the second lesson, was that, when I saw him playing, he was doing what felt good to him. It was coming from his imagination. He was so engrossed and playing so beautifully and so quietly because he was doing what felt good to him, what was natural to him. And so that is definitely a lesson for us in our businesses. We often force ourselves to do things that are not aligned with the philosophy that we stand behind and the ethos of our brand, and we do it once more because other people are doing it. The third lesson that I got from my 7-year-old son today was that the lesson of really tuning in to our own inner guidance and our own imagination. One of the reasons why he could play so quietly and nicely for so long was because he was so tuned in to his own vision that it kept him entertained in a way that video games and TV and films simply won't, because it was so real to him. It was his inner wisdom. It was his truth. And this is one of the things I've learned about business in my own life, is that, we don't need to have all the answers. We don't need to know what every step of the plan is for us to get from here to here. All we need to do is just get quiet, pull back from the noise of life, pull back from social media, pull back from distraction, and take some quiet time and tune in to that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, because it is in there. You know what's best for you. You know what the next step is. But often we are spinning, we're running at 100 miles an hour, we're like thinking, oh, well, I've got to do this and this and this, and that person there's doing this, and that person there's doing that, and I should do this, and I should do that. We should on ourselves so much that we're not actually following what we know is right for us. And my belief is we all have our own purpose, we all have our own path, and if you're called to do whatever it is you're doing in the world, if it's in you, it is meant for you. If you want to be a coach or a consultant, whatever your message is that you need to have out in the world, it's in you for a reason. And it's up to you to run with that. When you are true to yourself, the steps come automatically. When we stop listening to others and other people's doubts and other people's fears, and also our own fear, when we quieten things down and we connect with our own inner wisdom and the truth that is within each of us and our own path and our own purpose, and we connect with that intuition and our imagination, which is just the pictures in our mind that our inner guide is creating for us. If we just look to see what that is, we will always be on the right path. And this is where a lot of the fear drops away. When we are being 100% authentic, when we're being true to ourselves, when we are living in our zone of genius. In a minute, baby, just 2 seconds. Sorry, my son's right here waving something at me. When we're living in that way, then the fear drops away because we're doing what's right for us. We don't need to get it right. And it doesn't matter so much if we get it wrong because it's our own path. So that is the third lesson. And the fourth lesson is believe with the faith of a child. So as I watched my son, I had this smile on my face because you could just see him playing out what was in his imagination. And, you've got to think back, we were children too. Our imagination was so strong when we were children, but the sensibilities of life and the rules of the world have told us, oh, you mustn't believe in your imagination anymore. That's not a tool to run your life by. And actually, that's where a lot of the fear comes from, this second guessing and this doubt, that it's imprinted in our minds as a social concept that we've taken from the outside and adopted as our own. And when you tune into your imagination and you have that, you know, it brings you that sense of faith. Because if you think about it, when you were a child and you were playing dress up and you were playing and you were using your imagination, you didn't think you were playing at the time. You were being the astronaut, you were being the princess, you were being the fairy godmother, or whatever it was role play you were playing out at that time. In your mind's eye, you were it. You weren't pretending to be it, you were actually being it. And so that's true for us now. We've just, please don't shine that in my eye, that's very cruel. My son is trying to, can you see it? He's trying to shine something in my eye. Don't distract me. Come and sit in the, come on. Come and sit here and be part of the video, okay? Just sit nicely though, there's a good boy. And quietly, there. Okay, so, and here's the guy himself that's teaching the lessons for today. So, be sensible please, there's a good boy. So, when we are being that princess, we believe that we are it. And so that's the same for our business success. Much of your success is defined by whether you actually believe you can do it. Cindy says hello. There's a lady on the live stream that says hello to you, Eaton. Please don't pull the curtains down either.
Hello.
She's up there. Wave to her.
I can't see.
She's just written hello to you. Anyway, don't pull the curtains down. Yeah, so sorry about the distraction, but you know, I was determined to do this live stream come hell or high water, even whilst being in mummy mode. So, yeah, it's the same in our business. If you use your imagination to visualize whom it is you want to be, what it is you want to become, what it is you want to achieve, and you do it with the mindset and the faith of a child, then you too can be it. It's not just pretending to be it, you will be it. And if you do it enough, your imagination, the things that run through your mind, will actually become your reality. So they are the 4 lessons I learned from my son, my 7-year-old son today, that can actually help all of us expand our business. So I hope that has brought you a pearl of wisdom today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and insights, and I will tune in with you and be taking, once again, perfectly imperfect action in a couple of days. Are you going to say goodbye?
Bye bye,
Wave
puppy.
at everybody.
Bye bye, puppy. Bye bye, puppy.
All right. Okay, well, see you
Bye
soon, guys.
bye, puppy.
Take care.
Bye bye, puppy, Mom.